I want to know the vision of this Keller Williams condo shop, CS management. You and Ben and your team, because you don't look at it like just you and Ben.
It's never me and Ben.
What is this that you're building?
It's a family. I think people are going to look back a decade from now, and my and Ben's vision is they can look at us and say, wow, that's how a company full of people and team and family should have been. And that we're building a family. And that is going to be wealth building, job satisfaction, career, pride, give back.
Wow.
For everybody who's involved.
Where does that idea or mentality come from? It's not the norm. It's why we started Culture Matters, right?
I think people have that deep down within inside for many of them. Most entrepreneurs come with a bigger value than just trying to go out and make money. Many do. For me, it was personally for my family, to prove to my wife, make my daughter proud. I'm an immigrant to the country, came about 20 years ago. Came with nothing. My parents worked very hard, they still do, and it's to make them proud. I think my fundamental hard work comes in by trying to make myself believe that what my parents and what my wife, I've been married for 16 years, what they all went through, I need to make them proud. And what others have done for me, this is a country of, they say land of opportunities. I see it. I'm a living example. This country is absolutely, this is home. This is my,
wow.
This is my home. This country has given to me so much more than I could ever have imagined. I want to give back.
What inspired you when you were growing up to have this idea of what was possible? Coming here at 28 years.
I would be lying if I said I had anything when I was growing up. I was a regular kid growing up, wanted to get a job. I went to Drexel, did computer science. The plan was to go and do my MBA, climb the corporate ladder, and make a decent living, and have money in a retirement account and live a regular life that many people have a career about it. 9/11 changed the way that I had to think about my career. It had an impact on me. I lost my job, and I had to think of something to do.
So you lost your job. There was some kind of conflict there that came in, like this external stimulus.
9/11 came in. I was married, and 9/11 happened. I lost my job. I was supposed to work at Unisys, and that's what really made me change of what I was supposed to do in my career. And
it was like a huge pivot.
I didn't have a job, and I had to find out what to do. So I picked up a job at one of the companies in the city that happened to be in real estate, and then I started picking up.
Was real estate an interest of yours?
Never.
Total
never.
Right place, right time kind of thing.
IT. Stereotypical Indian going to an IT school. That was me.
That's culture.
I'm good with math. I'm good with computers, and I thought that was my calling.
Oh, math, computers, and also I'm going to give you a compliment. You're great with people. You are. So where's that juxtaposition?
That's family. I grew up with two sisters and with a big family around.
Are they older or younger than
one
sisters?
Younger, one older. So I took care of the younger one. I got beaten up by the older one. So I always had to be in balance. But being the only guy, and my dad always worked very hard. So having my mom, which is a big support for me growing up.
Your mother was?
My mother is, absolutely.
Did you guys communicate consistently?
All day. Because my mom was a stay-home mom, housemaker, and I spent most of the majority of my time.
You say she was a mentor to you in a way?
She made me who I am today.
Wow.
And my dad, with his work ethic, I think mom and dad both played a very important role.
So you communicated. What's so interesting to me psychologically, because I'll give you a compliment. At least on Facebook, you seem really aligned. No, I'm just kidding. No, in real, like you're genuinely, I believe, a good person. So you're saying you communicated consistently with your mother, like had that relationship, and you saw your dad work really hard. Sure. It just reminds me of like the archetypal leader.
I'll tell you something. You're talking about parents.
Yeah.
And I think we all, you and I have spoken very much about your mom. And I've seen your video with your mom. She's awesome on video.
Barbara.
Yeah, she's awesome.
You saw that video.
Yes, and she was very honest. When she was talking about it, she's like, "You're a pain."
I learned to tell the truth from my mother. Yeah.
So I'll tell you something that I believe. I talk to my team a lot about this.
Oh, really?
And I sincerely believe in this. This is how people are. People are always always want to have somebody around them that have an impact on their lives. This is how you should think. This is how I thought. And I always tell my team, if you're doing something, always think, would your mom, dad, your wife, your sister, whoever you respect a lot, how would they feel if they found out you were doing this? If you're slacking, you're supposed to go to work, but you're fiddling behind the scene on a phone. You're supposed to be working hard, and then you are at home not making the calls, or you're in a business where you are not being fair to somebody else. Think about that, and always think, would your mom and dad be proud of you if they found out what you're doing today? And if the answer came from deep down inside, no, this is not what they would want me to do, then don't do it.
Wow.
But when you do something and saying, would my parents be proud if I achieved this thing? How would they feel if they found out that I came first in the Olympics, if I did a new acquisition, if I excelled in my job, if I was a good person to somebody else? How would they feel if somebody said, oh, that's a good guy, your son is a good person? How would they feel? And only do those things because that will make an impact. Then put the same thing for your kids. How would you feel if your daughter, I have a daughter, one daughter, how would I feel if when she grows up and does things? Well, that's what really matters. If she came back and said, Dad, I have an extra $100,000 in my bank, and I got an award for people saying I'm the leader that helped kids, achieve things in their life, and I taught them, what would make me proud? The latter. So why wouldn't I do the same thing for people around me? So if you live with that mentality day and night.
So ask yourself.
Integrity means doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Well, how do you do the right thing when nobody's looking? Is you question yourself by asking the questions to you and saying, should I be doing this or not? Or not? Everybody has a choice, every step of the way. Go this way or go this way. Pick a choice. And we all know that if you pick the choice, deep down inside our gut tells us, this is not the right thing, but nobody will find out.
What gives you the courage to do it? Like that short-term gain, you see, right? So some people see the short-term gain, but the gain, maybe that instinct goes off. What gives you the courage?
I'm blessed that I'm here today because I always want to do the right thing, and I see how easy it is if you continue doing the right thing every day. Your conscience is so clean.
How easy life is if you're constantly doing the right thing.
You don't have to lie. You don't think about the lies. You're talking to so many people. You could, we're talking very casually. I'm just going with the flow. You could ask me any question that we spoke about last year or 3 months ago when you and I had a conversation. I'll tell you exactly because there's no other way I would have thought about it because I don't want to put up a show. It's so easy to do it the right way.
Wow.
If you walk out of a room and people say, that was a good guy, that's success. That's when you really achieve success. If you walk to the room and say, do you know that guy? Be watchful for that guy. Doesn't matter how much money you have.
Yeah.
I don't want that kind of money. But I want everybody around me to be very happy and successful achieving that as well. You talk about culture a lot.
Yeah, someone said it mattered.
It does. It absolutely does. Because we won as a thesis management company one of the best places to work in 2017.
Yeah, I saw that.
We're nominated again in 2018. I don't nominate it. The employees themselves say it.
So the employees go out and put it there.
I found out after we won the award.
Wow.
I didn't even know, and I said, how come I didn't vote for this? And she's like, you're not allowed to vote. I said, why not? She said, you're the owner. So I was like, oh, that's great, but who voted? She said, everybody else. I said, wow, this is great. This was such a proud moment for me.
You were so busy modeling the behavior that they could be inspired to.
But that's the way.
But just by telling the truth, it sounds like.
But they also want to be surrounding themselves with people that have the same values and culture. So in a company, you build teams, team builds companies. You can build companies. There's no way that I can do it.
So you build the team builds the company.
That is the only way. And the day you start thinking that you're above your team, it's a done game. Then you don't survive.
And Ben building this team building these companies hasn't been many years comparatively to a lot of
It's been about 7 years me and Ben have been together.
It's pretty quick that this is growing as fast as it's growing.
The vision grew along with time as well.
Okay.
It's my
fault. Yeah, let me. Yeah, it's all good.
I should have.
Yeah, no, it's okay. This is called building a culture that matters. It's all good. It's all good. Yes.
So the vision was never there between me and Ben to grow the companies to the extent that we are.
Let's put it a little higher too. So you're saying you grew it as you developed it?
I came in together with Ben. We met at a restaurant through a common friend. Sitting at a bar having a casual conversation. We were supposed to be there for 30 minutes. 4 hours later, we both felt we should do something together. We shook hands, made an appointment to meet again, and that's how our partnership model started.
Wow.
And we said, yeah, we need to go do something together. And the idea was just the condo shop to flourish. I have some ideas on how to run it. I'm a very hands-on guy. Ben is my visionary, and you know, he's a people person, and he's the best PR guy I ever met in my life.
Really?
So it brings a huge advantage to the partnership. But we're the yin and yang. I'm the day-to-day guy, 2 phones, making sure the numbers match, and he's the one who's looking at the bigger picture and saying, well, what do we need to do to maintain this and grow further? So me and him coming together in the condo shop really helped together as a partnership.
So it's like the vision, the imagination, and then getting it done. You guys, how do you maintain that relationship? Because that can be the crux of everything, and you see a lot of misalignment a lot of the time. I do, at least, coaching.
So I know Ben is going to look at this later, and I'm going to accept this on video that if it wasn't for Ben, we wouldn't be here together. And the reason is, I'm a very tough person to deal with in business. I'm very hardcore, sometimes short-tempered. I speak my heart, and in a partnership, you know, it becomes difficult. Ben always gave me the opportunity to speak my mind and forgive me a lot when I made mistakes with him. And it's vice versa as well. But I can see if it was somebody, if I was on his side, this partnership would not exist. So I respect Ben for a lot for those things.
Wow.
He allowed me to grow into the man I am as a partner, you know, forgiving and accepting for who I am. And I did the same thing for him at times as well. But he's a very humble guy. And that he really brought our partnership together as a brother. But he also helped me grow as a person and as a businessman. I never ever thought that the way I think today is way different than I ever thought before. And I think it's with sitting down with Ben more and more, he allowed me to open up my vision and said, think big, think larger. You know, why are you thinking 500 units? Think 10,000 units. That's where I want to be. And we always sit down and say, let's do this for, you know, for the next 1 year. And he says, no, next 5 years. We need to hire 100 people because we're going to be servicing 10,000 people. So why don't we set up a process that we don't have to do this again? And I always just think, well, 3 people will do it once, twice, second, and thrice, and we're done. We're good for the next 2-3 years. So he makes us think larger, at a much bigger scale. So that's his value.
Wow.
So I'm blessed to.
What's that experience like? Always, are you always uncomfortable in a positive way? I guess you could say.
Uncomfortable in a positive way. So you gotta explain that to him.
Yeah, it's like you're always. He's thinking in the future. You're putting it together, and there's a constant. I mean, in 7 years, you guys are growing into the biggest real estate company. I'm seeing this from an outsider point of view. We've got a massive opportunity that just transpired. We're about to talk about expansion.
And
so,
you know, it's all the people. It's always the people. You know, we are. You know, I'll take names in the company that, you know.
Okay.
Start not in any order, but you know, a few years ago, I've talked about thesis management. You know, we have Tony here, we have Angela, who came and took over the leadership of the rental portfolio. Then we have a team of, you know. Once I start taking names, I don't want to forget anybody. I'm going to limit myself to 2-3 names.
Yeah.
But then in the condo shop, you know, we have, you know, Kate became part of the big ownership structure of the condo shop. She's taken a leadership role. You know, John Blair has made Black Label happen. You know, Boots is helping with Rent Philly. Then we have Morgan and Tara, and they're all taking leadership roles into the company. Then we have some rock star agents in the company that are loyal and they belong to the team. So they all played a role for us to grow. So what has happened is everybody that felt comfortable with the company culture started clinging on together and started inviting other people to the company as well. So you're only as good as what company you keep around you.
Yeah.
And, so
like the 5 people you're around, you become.
That's absolutely. So you know, people look at each other and saying, "Well, I would like to be part of that organization because I'm very happy to see what my friend has achieved."
And birds of a feather flock together.
Absolutely. So you know, so I think that's been our model. We don't usually go out and recruit, but we do when we need to. But I think we have grown organically.
Would you say, so from an outsider point of view, looking in, someone that is in this industry of team building, yours and Ben's, it's that uncomfortable but positive to it. It's like
Now-
you're
now
growing,
it's
yeah. Now it's like you guys growing together attracts people that are attracted to that relationship, and then they attract others.
It always,
It's like
culture always
cycle.
flows from the top.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you maintain
Yes, I like
that from the top, you know, it will trickle down.
Like yours and Ben's trust in each other and your communication.
And the way we treat our team.
Trickles.
And they look at that and they see it, and you know, I know that our team has expressed so many times that they believe in me and Ben.
So if you and Ben were fighting all the time, what do you think they would?
If we were fighting all the time, it's like any marriage. You know, what would that effect be on the child if they saw the parents not getting along well? But you know, but I think me and Ben are more like the two brothers than the parents. You know, we keep everybody at our same horizontal level together. We work together. We are very transparent in everything we do.
Wow.
You know, people can know everything that's happening. You know, when we're really willing to fire somebody, I'll take the whole team together and say, this is what I'm thinking, because I take it very personally if somebody leaves from the company. People talk about a 30% attrition rate in the brokerage business.
Yeah.
I don't remember more than 2 people leaving us.
Wow. Yeah. What would you say your turnover? I mean, probably less than 5%.
I don't remember the last person that left us in the condo shop. Like 3 people left. One went to Berkshire Hathaway. One went to another KW
You know.
company. One went to Remax. They all 3 came back.
So 3 people left and they all came back.
They all 3 came back.
Oh wow.
So,
yes, statistically, I mean, you get an example like the Container Store has 1,000% less turnover than the average retailer. Most companies have 100% up to 1,000% or more turnovers.
Wow.
And yeah, like that's why I started Culture Matters.
So that makes a difference. To me, when somebody leaves, like, I don't know why. Why would you build your business to create value for people that they can benefit and flourish, than just creating a fluff which looks great from a distance.
Yeah.
But then when the real test comes in, when the judge of character comes in when there's a test. Are you willing to wait for that to happen and then make a choice? Or you're going to believe in somebody on day one, knowing that if that happens, I got my back covered. It's 2 different philosophies. You know, I like this on the face value, but I don't really trust you. Maybe good or maybe not be so great at face value, but I know that if the fundamentals are there, integrity is there, I'll go with that any day of my life.
So you're focused on hiring the values.
You have to think deeper and bigger, because if that's not who you yourself are, then you may surround yourself with opportunities that are only limited or for the face value today. You know, my dad always said, you know, retire. Always think yourself when you're going to be in partnership or in business with people. If you retired, or if you want to be on a beach, can you be with the families of the people that you are with at the beach yourself? So 10, 20 years from now, do I want to surround myself with my team and their kids? Hell yeah.
Wow.
Everyone that we have in the company, I'm blessed, and I would love to get to know them. We hang out as friends.
I saw you guys do an event together. You went out together recently.
We do tons of it. We went to the fitness game together.
So this interests me. So you did that. A lot of companies I see, they try to throw those events, like they're trying to use the event to make the culture. But you guys have the cultural, and then you do the event.
That's interesting, yes.
And that's what I see when I watch you guys.
We do it because we're celebrating our team.
You're not doing it to try to push. It's like they buy the bean bags. All right, we got the culture now.
That's
not the trend.
We usually celebrate when we go out. We don't do it to make sure that they stay.
Oh, we got to keep them. Let's do golf.
We're having fun. That's a big part.
It's like you doing that is a reflection of you guys just getting along.
I'm having so much fun as well.
Yeah.
I'm not that old. I'm getting there, but
You're aging backwards, actually.
No,
you know, flounder never die of old age. They just keep getting bigger. And crocodiles and the eternal jellyfish.
So I'll be a 1,000-year-old turtle walking slowly in my life.
I can see that. Oh my God, that's a compliment.
Okay.
So through all of this growth, this massive, I feel like this conversation, like between you and Ben and your trust, that trickles to your team, that trickles to their friends that become the team. It's almost as if that's trickling to other companies in the area that are wanting to be a part of what you're doing.
So I know where you're leading this to.
Yeah.
And I will share it. Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing news.
It's amazing news, and it's a great opportunity for us. You know, you only I was talking to somebody, and I believe in this. Luck only favors people who are ready for the opportunity.
Huh.
So if you're not in the real estate business, you'll never make money selling a real estate business.
Of course.
If you're not in the coaching business or helping people, you will never be in the position somebody says, can you help me with this today? No, I can't, because I don't do this. So luck only comes to people who are ready for the opportunity. So we made a move intentionally last year to merge with Keller Williams Center City in the Philadelphia region. I think the opportunity now that came by is as we are growing and as our opportunities were expanding and as we are getting to know more and more people, we are surrounding ourselves with the right people that I feel can help us grow and allow us to bring the values that we have created so far to help them grow as well. So we had this opportunity, so we ended up buying the Center City Keller Williams franchise.
Wow.
With 400 agents.
400.
So, yeah, and
400 beautiful souls.
And the way I look at it is, our family just grew from 60 people in the condo shop to 400 people in Center City. And we're just going to get started. And
I'm going to use that analogy to get 2 girlfriends. I'm just kidding. No, this is all good.
Simple philosophy. What we have done so far, continue doing it.
So you have invested in helping 400 more people become a part of this transparent, integral-based, familial operation to help people in real estate. That's what it sounds like.
I will be working very hard to make sure that that happens in this new acquisition. The goal is to build a company full of integrity, honesty, hard work, lead by example, be the best of the best, consider these people who are part of the organization as family, take their views and opinions in building them, in helping their families build that as well. I take my responsibility of being the owner very seriously. There are 400 times, at least 3 in a family, 1,200 people that I believe are going to be my responsibility at some level. And there are kids involved, and there are families involved, there are emotions involved. They don't have to be here. They're here by choice. They're allowing me to be in that position for them. So I want to earn that respect, and I will not let them down. I did not take this opportunity or this position to just wing it. I'll work day and night for everybody around, and not just build opportunities for myself and for my business partners. This is going to be for everyone around, and there are very easy ways of doing things that I don't know why people don't do it. And we will create a company that I hope that is successful to the point people look back and say, I don't know why we couldn't think of something like this, and I don't know how Gaurav and Ben did this, along with the other partners that they have, and to leave a legacy behind where everybody is part of a growth and not just for me and Ben.
You said something that's really intriguing to me, is that 400 people, they might have 2 or 3 people in their family. 1,200 people. I read something recently, or maybe it was a lecture that I was watching, that, and this is before the internet, so you can only imagine, the average person needs, like, physically meets and like builds a relationship, maybe 1,000 people in their lifetime.
Okay.
Now, social media might magnify that, of course.
Sure.
But let's just look at it. 1,200 people, 1,000 people, you're talking 1 million people could be affected.
Correct.
It's like we don't reflect on how much impact we have on people when we meet them or when we have a relation with them. Like, every evil person in the world had a parent. And that's how I think of that sometimes.
And people are not born evil. It's a circumstances. You know, it's God made all of us very pure and genuine when we are born. All kids are beautiful. They're genuine souls. It's the circumstances around them that make them a different person.
Does that idea, that mentality, that perspective inspire you to be a leader?
Has to be deep down inside, because if that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be here. And I learned that from my parents being around, and I'm sure that they were brought up with their upbringing through their parents. I have a very big extended family. I go to India every year. I love meeting my family and friends, and so is my wife. She comes from a lot of family around, and we both value that, and we want our daughter to be around family as well. It makes a difference. It makes a difference of who you are and how you work and deal with people in your life. Think about this, Joe. The difference between the people that work with you and they have kids, would they take the kids to Disney World every second year, or wait for 5 to 10 years before they can save the money to go to Disney World. I feel I'm responsible at some level for the decision. And what can I do for them to achieve that? If you put yourself at that level of responsibility, you can't sleep. And that's what my...
So you're driven.
I'm very driven, not just from my daughter, from my people in my company that have kids, for their wives and husbands and parents. It makes a difference. If I made a choice today, and the decision is now because we are end up buying the company, let's say tomorrow morning I decide shut it down. Done, case closed, I'm done. Everybody will struggle and scramble to find places. They will stabilize because good people, hardworking people will always figure out a way. But I will destroy their next 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 year, 2 years. I'll make it entire. How can I do that?
Wow.
How can I put them through misery for something that is my choice and decision? They believed in me and saying that I will continue being in this organization around Gaurav so that you can do the right thing and create more opportunities for me. That's the belief they have in me. And I need to put myself understanding that that's what I need to do. So actions will speak more than words.
Yeah.
I can only talk and try that people people understand and agree with what I'm saying. But all I'm asking is that give me a chance. I have proven myself in the last 7 years to a certain extent. This is the biggest undertaking I'm doing. I'm growing. I'm learning a lot. I'm growing as a person, as a business person myself.
It seems like you're always growing, and I see that in a lot of individuals that are leading many people. What are some of the things that you incorporate into your life to grow? Whether it's things, whether it's ideas.
I'm really struggling even today.
Okay.
I try a lot to eat well. It's a struggle at times because you're just tied up back-to-back meetings. I want to go to the gym more than I am today, but I think I've somehow figured out to go to the gym 2 to 3 times at least a week now, which was a challenge. I always had a reason and excuse until 2 years ago not to go to the gym. But in the last 2 years I lost about 15 pounds, and I think it just became part of my life. Now somehow I have 3 hours a week.
So you're not going to join Jake and Sky's 5 a.m. club?
I'm not a morning person. I see them every once in a while.
Well, let's try to go a day.
But I'm a late person at night. I'm like at 3 o'clock in the morning sending emails, and I wake up at 7.
You know who I read that does that too? Tony Robbins.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I never wanted to acknowledge that because I always feel everybody says be a morning person.
Okay.
Be a morning person.
All right.
I can't.
I'm going to tell the truth. There is an uncommon denominator of successful people. And it isn't when they woke up or when they bed. You know what it is? They did whatever it is they had to do consistently. There's a great book I got for you. It's called, I'll go with my library and get it, Daily Rituals.
Okay.
And it's 160 inventors, writers, speakers, all sorts of people. And it gives you a little biography of their life. And the one thing all of them had in common, they did it every day, whatever it was.
And I'll give a shout out to Mike McCann. I learned this from Mike McCann. When I speak to him, and we did an interview with him before as well. He said the same thing.
Did he really?
He says, Gaurav, I've been doing it the same thing consistently again and again, and that resonated with me deep down inside. Changed me to who I am. You hear people say things, and you never know one word or one sentence out of a meeting that comes out that makes a difference in your life.
Yeah.
I took that away from Mike that day, and he said, just do it the same way consistently. That's what I've been doing for years. He said, I'm not the most genius guy. I'm just consistent. Mike McCann is just consistent.
McCann.
And he's consistently hardworking, consistently being a good man, consistently being friends with everybody in the industry. Wish I can continue the path that he has built.
You know what intrigues me about you as well, and this is a massive culture compliment, is the alignment and the trust of the organization with the leader and the individuals, it stems from the alignment of the individual. And for someone, a grown man with a big business, adding a lot of value to people, to give a massive compliment to the competition, because that's how people, I just did a podcast about this. The competition.
People are people.
What? Oh,
people are people.
You're talking about the #1 Berkshire agent.
Hats off to the guy. He's a
legend, though. But that's the way business needs to be.
It's
amazing.
He's a legend. He's built something for all of us younger than him to look up to him and say, look how he has done it. He laid on a path for us and said, this is the way that can be done. And with technology, social media, a bigger, better market today, it should be relatively easier for us to lead in his path faster and achieve that.
Right.
He did it. He did it in the time when I wasn't in business.
His knuckles are probably bleeding.
So that's what I really appreciate. People who work hard, and why not respect people who have worked hard? There's enough competition, but there's friendly competition.
What are some people that you aspire to or are inspired by? Living, dead. It could be books, whatever.
I usually am more inspired by people that I meet than my.
Than the stereotypical.
Not the stereotypical, but let's say let's talk about Keller Williams, right? So Gary Keller. People swear by him. He's built a culture. He's a legend. I don't buy it. I do not buy it because sure he wrote books and he built a culture and the team. Till the day I met him, I was in a room with him for 3 hours. That's what changed me, the respect for the guy. So because I heard him firsthand.
Wow.
It's words, emails, sometimes even phone conversations don't do justice of the emotions. No matter how many smiley faces you're gonna put in a text message, it does not justify it. And that's why I like meeting people and expressing and saying, let me meet you and I'll tell you what I'm thinking, is because my emotions, my principles, I can only express when I'm talking and I'm in person. So when I saw Gary in that room, I only met him one and a half times, one by walking by and one being in the room for 3 hours.
Yeah.
The way he spoke his heart out, the way he handled himself, his vision, his telling the information to the world, that made a difference. My dad, I don't know what I'll do without him. My wife, the way she handles situations, my mom, my sisters, my friends, my business associates, my team members, Richard Aller, Ben's father, he's been my mentor since I came into this business. And friends who are in mortgage businesses, title businesses. I'm surrounding myself with people on a day-to-day basis in the business, and you want to surround yourself with people that have integrity, that are going to actually tell you that you think that more than what you ever knew before. Our mortgage companies, friendship that I have, or the title companies, or the insurance companies, or developers. Try to surround yourself with people that are gonna be helping you be the person you are, and not try to put in your head that make a buck in a way that is just good for you.
So you really respect individuals that are willing to, I guess, put their integrity on the table, not money on the table.
People use integrity very loosely these days. If you start believing in it and you work on it.
I love that you're talking about this because I just brought this up recently. It's the 3 things. You don't need money to start a business. You need competence, confidence, and integrity. Because if someone gives me the opportunity, they have 1,000 employees. The same conversation I'd have with 5 is the same with 1,000 because you start with the 2 dudes or the 2 women or whoever at the top.
Yeah.
So the question is, are you going to actually tell the truth and put the work in? Like, are you going to say no on the weekend? Like, I haven't drank until I was 16 because it was something that I would do on the weekend that slowed down Culture Matters.
I think that's
so. Like, I know I can say no to something that would be a distraction. So what would stop me from having a conversation with a company that had whatever or anyone? Be a human.
That's true.
So you saying that inspires me. And like, you say you meet people in real life, you get inspired. Having conversations with people that I'm inspired by, like what we're doing, that has helped. So I'm living proof of that.
I'm learning a lot from people around me, and I appreciate you spending the time to put me in a position to talk about my life and what it means. I know I've been fortunate to be in a position to be a leader at a certain level, but I'm such a small piece of the world, and then there's so many successful people way over and beyond than all of us combined that I've been looking at it. At the end of the day, I hope if I have anything in life that I can share with somebody, and they can get, if there's 1 or 2 things that matter, that they pick up in their lives, just like I have picked up from other people, that'll be my success. I really hope that I can help people I will never make a buck by stepping on somebody.
Wow.
It will never happen. And people who have ever dealt with me, I'm confident that I will come out with flying colors if somebody ever questions. Gaurav has always lived with integrity. The answer is yes. There's always people who don't see eye to eye with you. There are always people who will always find a reason to blame you.
How do you deal with naysayers?
Bothers me. It really bothers me. And I always wish I could have a heart-to-heart conversation. Wish there was a way for us to discuss with them what what can I do for them to be able to see life a little differently. It'll go back the same way, right? If think about your parents. Would they be proud if they found out that you're making excuses? If you found out that you are saying no to people when you should be trying to help people? Anything else deep down inside, if it makes a problem, if it makes a difficult decision, just don't do it.
I have a quote for you.
Okay, I'll take it.
A person of power will be courteous and friendly and may even love his enemies as they present means and obstacles for the test his strength.
That's very well.
Frederick Nietzsche. That's you, brother.
You're putting
if you were to write a book, what would the book be titled?
It will have to do with something about hard work, no shortcuts, lead by example with integrity. Somewhere on those lines. I don't know the title. But
that's, hold on, I like the funniest thing. I asked that same question of Richard Foreman and he gave me a similar answer.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
success begets success.
I always thought success to me meant at one point in my life is if I can buy my wife and my parents anything they want by not being super extravagant expenses.
Yeah.
I don't buy a Lamborghini, but if they could buy, if they could buy a decent car, live in a different house, go to a restaurant and say, I don't want to get crab cakes because they're $28 as compared to $18 dish. Like if I can achieve that, that was success to me. And then that definition of success started changing by not just for yourself, but for others. So when I say us as my immediate family, then it become bigger. Can I do that for the team? Then can I do that for the families of my team?
Huh.
And what I really want to grow into further is the people that I'm not related to. How about those kids that are suffering, in Africa or in India, or people who are helping people who don't have eyes and they can take value from somebody donating some money. Like I haven't reached there yet, and I'm still tied up in the day-to-day, everyday. So that is, I hope I can grow into that person one day that wants to go
so
beyond.
Your drive is coming from this wanting to help other people around you, and as you've grown, you've upped the ante of who you want to help.
I think people around you remind you what's bigger in life. But I also, when you're doing all those things, then you suffer in your relationship with your wife and your daughter because you don't get time to spend as much time. So I want to take a step back and build up a better relationship with my daughter because I don't see her as much as I want to. With my wife, because I'm crazy running around on a daily basis. She's been my best friend for almost 20 years now. But I spend more time and do more things that she would want me to do at this time of her career as well. So I want to take a step back, build that better, take better care of my health, then take a step back and then go 3 steps forward. So along things. So it's a continuous challenge and battle that you have with yourself of what's the best way to live your life. If your fundamentals are strong, you can change things around you.
If you were to meet yourself 20 years ago, what would you tell yourself, knowing what you know today?
Think big. I never thought big. I have a friend that tells me today, a very good friend. He says he knew me. He's the one who introduced me to Ben, and I have high respect for the guy.
Keep that guy around.
So he told me, he says, if 15 years ago I told you that I will give you a salary of X dollars for the rest of your life with a 5% increase in salary, would you have taken the deal? I said yes. He said, you would have signed your life away at that time. And do you make 10 times more money than that I said, yes, I'll do today. He said, if you're willing to sign your life away, 1/10 of the salary that money that I was going to give you, that's how much you thought was what you needed and achieved, and that was success to you. And now you make 10 times more. I don't want you to complain about anything in life ever again. He says, you have achieved more than you ever thought. 10 times more. And I said, and you still want to complain about anything around you? He says, look back. It's a question that you asked 20 years ago, what would I have done? I would have looked 20 years ago and said, think big. Because thinking big allows you to be who you are in 20 years later.
Wow.
Time, right? And also, I always thought having a cap on your head never made sense. If you're a true entrepreneur and believe in yourself, then take a risk. There are many entrepreneurs who don't want to be entrepreneurs. I want to be an entrepreneur, but I need a base salary.
A wantrepreneur.
Yeah. So there's always there's always a thing behind it. Take a risk. Take a risk. If you want to be a partner and you want to build a company, take a risk. No, but I want a base salary. Then you're not the true entrepreneur. Every agent is a true entrepreneur. They don't get a salary in their pockets and they have to finish every transaction to make a living. I never want to have on January 1 somebody telling you on December 31st you're going to make this much money. If you know that answer, this business is not for you.
The imagination can't
it has to go way bigger. And if you are part of an organization around, if anybody in our organization, I'll remind you every day that a cap is not for you. Cap is not for you.
We were finishing up a podcast in the car that I was doing. Slept about 3 hours last night.
Okay.
Ben's walking down the street. Pull the whip, Ben! He's like on the phone, hey! And then I look to the left, I see his eyes looking this way, and then he walks away, I look, Isaiah's asleep. He hasn't slept at all. Because I was on a podcast, he's sleeping, he's driving, right? And he's sleeping, I'm like, you must think we're crazy, but that is what it is. I would trade everything. I mean, been to hell and back. I don't care. When you have something to say, you just do it.
Yeah.
And I appreciate your time today. I love the thinking. I mean, the think big. So much. We could talk for about 8 hours. We'll definitely do this again.
I'm passionate about that.
And I want to help you save the Africans. I mean, that sounds weird, but
it's not just Africans.
Seriously,
I'm talking about people. Because I've coming from India. I know people that go through difficult times in India, and first thing that comes to mind is always kids.
Well, we speak at high schools.
I've seen you do that. So
you know what? So on that note, I had a client. Her son followed us for the day because he really wasn't aligned with us. He was kind of like, how could you even work with my mom? You're half her age. Mm-hmm. And at the end of that day, he basically said, I'm sorry, and he's like, can you speak in my school? Wow. So instead of waiting for the millions and millions of dollars, I said, let me just add it to the plate. We've spoken at 7 schools or something like that. And you gotta say, man, you go in there and tell them, hey, we're building it. This is we're not coming in later. We're building it. They get excited. It's really rewarding. So I'll tell you, if you want to speak at a school, you come with us.
You'll have to just let me know what to do because that's where I need to grow. And I need people like you to help me. Devin Denofa is a great member of our team, and he does this a lot.
Really?
Devin,
wow. I've heard great things about Devin, actually.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
He does a lot to give back.
Oh,
I got to learn from him as well.
Thank you for today.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.